I sold a car on Facebook Marketplace. Here are some tips, tricks, and things to look out for. Hi everybody, I am going to share with you today my recent experience of trying to sell my son's Mercedes-Benz C250 on Facebook Marketplace. We'll go through some how-to on how to post it, but also, more importantly, what scams to watch out for. We'll go over some scams for the seller, but also some scams to watch out for if you are a buyer. So let's get going. First thing you want to do is scout out a great location where you can get some good photos. You want a location where you have room to take some good pictures, stand back enough to get the whole car in the picture. You want good lighting and a great backdrop. You want to make the car look as good as possible. Get some pictures of the interior, get some pictures of the engine compartment. You can even upload a video of the car running if you would like. But it's also important to take pictures of any damage that is on the car. The worst thing that can happen is somebody does decide to come out and drive all the way out to look at the car, and then surprise, there's some damage on the car. Hey, I didn't know about this dent. That's really going to put a damper on your ability to sell the car. It's quite a buzzkill for them to get out and find out that the car is damaged. So display the car in its true form, make it look as best as possible, but certainly don't hide any damage. Let the person know before they come out and take a look at the car. Once you have your photos, head on over to Facebook Marketplace, hit create a listing, fill in the details, pick the category that you want to put it in. We're selling a car, so obviously it would be cars and trucks. Include the current correct mileage on the car, any recent repairs or maintenance that has been done to the car, and also if there's any known issues, you want to let the buyer know about those before they come out and are disappointed when they find out that there's issues with the car. And then also, if you are the first owner, mention that too. That's great. I'd love to buy a car from the original owner or even the second owner, as in our case. We knew the history of the car, but if you're not sure of the history of the car or what to list it for, and that's the other thing, when you do list it, you want to make sure you list it for a fair price. So I like to use Carfax. Carfax will tell you where the car has been registered and in what state the car has had its service done. Not all service facilities report to Carfax, but most do. So that's a great resource to be able to look at the service history of the vehicle. Also find out how many owners the vehicle has had. It'll also tell you if there's any open recalls. It will tell you if it has a branded title, such as a salvage title or flood damage title, and it will tell you how many accidents have been reported. It also calculates a history-based value of your vehicle, both wholesale and retail. So wholesale, if your car has some issues, you'll probably price it closer to the wholesale price, wholesale being the lower price. But if your car's a cream puff, go ahead and try to get full retail for it. So with all of those things entered, you're ready to go. Go ahead and hit post. Next is sifting through all the responses. We only had about 10 all in all in our area, which was okay, but I'll try to break these down into some categories. First, we had just the looky-loos, then we had the lowballers, and then we had the scams, and finally, people that were actually interested in them. Well, let's start with the looky-loos. These really didn't take up too much time. They started asking some questions online, answered a few questions, and then they disappeared, which is okay with me. The worst thing I would want is a looky-loo to have me set up some time for them to take a look at the car in person, drive out to meet somebody, and find out they're really not interested and just a waste of time. So I'm glad that didn't happen this time. Next are the lowballers. Sometimes when you're scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, you'll see people that'll actually post, "No lowballers, I know what I have." Well, I don't know if that helps. I think the lowballers are still out there. These are the people that will post some ridiculous offer and then say something like, "I have cash in hand." Like that matters because you're selling something on Facebook Marketplace, and I would hope cash is the only payment you would accept anyway, but still they're out there. Fortunately, they don't waste too much time. Whether you even want to reply or not is up to you. I didn't reply. Now let's take a look at the scammers. Unfortunately, this is a part of it. It's the world we live in today, unfortunately. But Facebook Marketplace doesn't leave you out in the weeds. First thing you can do is when you do have a potential buyer, click on the buyer's profile. If you see a profile that was just created and they don't have any friends, that's a little suspicious. Also, if you click on that profile and it's from another state, you're trying to sell a car in one state and they're in a complete another state, that's a little suspicious also. But the nice thing is that Facebook, its algorithm, will put up this warning message that you see here and go through all this information on what to look for that would be a potential scam. So some very good information here. These people I didn't even interact with. If it looked suspicious, I'm not that desperate trying to sell a car, so I stayed away from them. Not all scams are as easy to see as these. I'm sure we've all noticed on Facebook from time to time one of our friends say, "Hey, don't accept a friend request from me. Apparently I've been hacked." Well, I've always wondered what a hacker wants with somebody else's Facebook profile. Well, this is one of the things that they do. They can get your Facebook profile, which then says that you've been on Facebook for a number of years and have hundreds of friends. So essentially, they're using your profile as the legitimate profile, then going on Facebook Marketplace and creating some scams to try to scam sellers out of things, or maybe even buyers out of things. So that's another thing you have to be aware of. So here are some red flags on things to watch out for. The first thing the scammers usually do is try to get you to communicate outside of Facebook Marketplace. They'll ask for a phone number or an email address, or try to communicate through some sort of other app and start fishing for some more information about you. Then once you move to some outside form of communication, you'll probably hear some sort of extenuating circumstances or a sob story that is going to tug on your heartstrings. You'll start lowering your guard. For instance, somebody may say, "Hey, I'm being deployed. I'm out of state. My little sister lives in this state. She's all by herself. She needs to buy this car because she's got to get back and forth to work, maybe has a kid," on and on and on. And there opens up the door that they can't meet with you to provide you cash and give payment for this car. So then comes a payment app. There's all sorts of scams with payment apps that may, it looks like you got paid, or an overpayment, and then they're going to ask you to refund some of the money. Oops, I put in $1,000 too much. And then you pay back that $1,000 and find out that the first payment wasn't legit whatsoever. So stay within Facebook. Make sure that these people are in town. Meet with them face to face at a neutral location. Don't give up your address or any other unnecessary information, and always be on guard. And have many of the same precautions if you're trying to buy something off of Facebook Marketplace. It wasn't that long ago that my wife was looking at a outdoor patio set used that we thought we would get for our backyard. Saw this on Facebook Marketplace. My wife started communicating with the seller, and we said, "Wow, that looks like a good deal. Let's go over." It was something insane, a $1,500 patio set, and they just needed to get rid of it. They were selling it for somebody else, their parents or something, and they only wanted $200 for it, and it was barely used. All those good things. So we said, hey, we'll run over right now, and it was on the weekend. We'll take a look at it. Then the seller said, they're too busy. They can't make it this time. What about this time? No, can't make it that time. And then the seller replies back that, hey, I got a lot of people interested in it. Please Zelle me $100 and I'll save the patio set for you at a time that you can come take a look at it. So then we started looking at the photos of the patio set, and they were saying they were local here, but the photos clearly showed a different town. It wasn't a desert setting like we're in. It was a wooded setting, and so that's when it was tipped off that we were being scammed. So we ceased to interact with that person, gave up on it. But the funny thing is, the very next day, that patio set was being offered on Facebook Marketplace under a complete different user with the same photos. So they had another Facebook Marketplace profile, and they were at it again. So, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. So be careful. Fortunately, after all those inquiries, there was one legit inquiry that the people really wanted to buy the car. This was a nice young couple. We ended up meeting them in a public shopping center parking lot. We had them drive the car, went over, they looked at it, went over all the details. I actually showed them the Carfax on the car, gave them all the information. They negotiated a small $200 discount, which we were happy to do. Happy to pass this car on to people that will take care of it and have the enjoyment with the car for many more miles to come as we did. And I have to admit that I was wrong. I was going into this thinking it was going to be a complete waste of time. Really did not expect to sell the car. But in the end, we got a fair price and got to meet some very nice people. I hope this video helps if you're trying to sell a car or anything else on Facebook Marketplace. And if it did, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. It's much appreciated. I'll see you on the next video.